Finding Pokemon cards at retail price feels like trying to catch a shiny legendary with a broken Pokeball these days. And trust me, I've been there, refreshing Target's website in the evening, driving to 5 different stores only to find empty shelves, and watching scalpers snatch up entire displays faster than a quick attack. But here's the thing. There's actually a method to this madness. After months of trial and error, I figured out a code on consistently finding cards at MSRP. In this video, I'm sharing 5 massive tips for finding Pokemon cards at MSRP so that you can stop overpaying and start collecting smart. Tip number 1. Join the secret society. Let's start with what I consider the holy grail of MSRP hunting, which is local community groups. Now I know what you're thinking, great, another person telling me to join Facebook groups, but hear me out, because this isn't just about joining those massive 10,000 plus member groups where your restock alert gets buried under the "is there still product left" posts. The magic happens in smaller, focused communities. I'm talking about local Discord servers and Facebook groups with only 50 to 200 active members who are all hunting in your specific area. These groups are absolute goldmines because everyone's working together instead of competing with the entire neighborhood. And here's how it works. Someone spots a restock at Target on 5th Street, they drop a quick message, and boom, 5 people get cards at MSRP instead of just one lucky person. It's like having a network of scouts across your city, all working toward the same goal. My personal favorite comes from PokeNotify's local Discord groups. They're organized by state, so you're only getting alerts relevant to your area. My state's group only has 100 members, and that's the perfect size. It's active enough that someone's always spotting restocks, but it's small enough that you're not telling the entire city that some product is available. The key is finding that sweet spot. Groups that are too big become chaotic and competitive. Groups that are too small go days without any updates. And completely inactive groups, well, they're about as useless as a Magikarp in a championship battle. Now, if you can't find the right group for your area, consider starting your own. Post in local Facebook market groups or Reddit communities to find other collectors in your area. And trust me, they're out there. Probably just as frustrated as you are with the current market. But local groups are just the beginning. To really master MSRP hunting, you really need to understand the digital battlefield. Tip number 2, master the online release game. Welcome to the wild west of online Pokemon drops, where knowing the right time to refresh a page can mean the difference between MSRP and paying double market price. Each retailer has their own personality, and yes, I just called Target a personality, which probably tells you how deep I've gone down this rabbit hole. Now let's break down the major players and their quirks. Pokemon Center is your reliable friend who's always on time. They typically drop new products on weekday mornings, usually between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. They're consistent, they're professional, they've got H-Capture security enabled, and they rarely cancel orders. If the Pokemon Center was a person, they'd be the one who shows up to every group project meeting with their work already done. Target, on the other hand, is that friend who texts you at midnight asking if you want to go grab some food. Their drops are completely unpredictable. Sometimes it's at midnight, sometimes it's at 3 a.m., sometimes it's during the afternoon, sometimes it's during your lunch break on a Tuesday. They keep us all on our toes, which is both exciting and exhausting. Now, Walmart has earned the nickname Walmart Wednesdays for a good reason. They love their midweek drops, and when they restock, they don't mess around. Their order limits are usually generous, so you can actually grab multiple products instead of being limited to just one pack like some other retailers. Costco and Sam's Club are the chaos agents of the Pokemon world. When they drop products, it's like a digital stampede. Everyone's frantically adding items to their cart while the website crashes under the pressure. But if you can navigate the chaos, their wholesale pricing makes it worth the stress. Macy's and Best Buy are the wild cards too. Sometimes they ship your order perfectly. Sometimes your order gets lost. Sometimes your order gets canceled. And sometimes 3 weeks later, you get a generic inventory error email. They're like that unreliable friend who might show up to help you move or text you an hour later saying that their car broke down. Now, manually tracking all these retailers would drive anyone insane, and that's why services like PokeNotify come in clutch. They monitor hundreds of sites worldwide so that you get the instant alert the moment products drop. No more refreshing pages all day like some kind of digital zombie. I've been using PokeNotify for about 8 months now, and it's how I've managed to snag everything at MSRP online, from ETBs to sleeves to premium collections, all from the comfort of my own home. You can try it free for 3 days, and if you decide to stick with it, use the code PALETPICKS25 to get 25% off your first month. But online drops are only half the battle. Sometimes the best finds are hiding in plain sight at your local stores. Tip number 3, become a retail detective. Now is the time to put on your detective hat and learn the art of in-person hunting. This isn't about camping outside stores at 3 a.m., though if that's your thing, more power to you. This is about working smarter and not harder. Target is where most of your detective work will pay off. And here's the insider secret. Check behind the customer service counter. Seriously. Target often keeps high demand items back there to prevent theft and limit purchases. Don't be shy. Walk up and ask if they have any Pokemon cards behind the counter. The worst that they can say is no, and the best case scenario is that you walk out with an armful of MSRP products. Also, don't take "we don't have any" as the final answer. I've had employees tell me that they're completely out, only to have another employee find out a box of products in the back 5 minutes later. Sometimes they genuinely don't know about incoming shipments or backstock. A polite "could you double check in the back" often works wonders. GameStop is a different beast entirely. Their drops are competitive and often marked up, but they're also predictable. Follow your local GameStop on social media. They'll often give you a heads up about upcoming shipments if you're following them like on Instagram, for example. They also tend to post their inventory the day before a release happens. Warehouse stores like Costco and Sam's Club are pretty good gems that give a ton of people a chance at stock. Yes, you need a membership, but their wholesale pricing and bulk availability make up for it. Plus, they tend to get products that other stores just don't carry, and their restocks are substantial when they do happen. And here's where it gets interesting. Walgreens and Dollar Trees are the sleeper hits of Pokemon card hunting. Walgreens often has products from older sets that other stores have long since sold out of. It's like finding a time capsule of cards at MSRP prices. Dollar Tree is even more wild. I've seen people in my local Discord find entire booster boxes sealed just by asking employees to check the back. One person recently scored sealed booster boxes of Mega Evolutions just because they asked nicely at their local Dollar Tree. Imagine explaining that out to other collectors, "Oh, this booster box, I got it at Dollar Tree for retail price." The key to in-person hunting is building relationships and being consistent without being annoying. Treat store employees like human beings, not obstacles to your card collecting journey. A little kindness goes a long way, and you'd be surprised how helpful people can be when you're not demanding or entitled. But what I told you, there is an even more automated way to find cards at MSRP hiding in plain sight in shopping centers across the country. Tip number 4, the hidden vending machine secret. Here's a tip that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but is absolutely real. Pokemon vending machines exist. And yes, you've read that correctly if you didn't know already. There are actual vending machines scattered across the country that dispense Pokemon cards at MSRP random times throughout the day. And some collectors don't even know they exist. These aren't your typical snack vending machines that eat your dollar and give you nothing in return. These are sophisticated machines that stock booster packs, ETBs, and other Pokemon products at retail prices. They're usually in malls, shopping centers, and even grocery stores. And the beautiful thing about these machines is that they're predictable. Unlike human-operated stores that might sell out in minutes, these machines have built-in timers and restock schedules. They release products at predetermined intervals, which means if you figure out that pattern, you can sometimes time your visits perfectly. To find these magical machines, check the Pokemon Center website. They usually have a locator tool for official Pokemon vending machines. You can also Google search TCG vending machines or trading card vending machines Pokemon in your area. I've personally found products in these machines like sleeve boosters, ETBs, and booster boxes that were sold out everywhere else. While everyone else was frantically refreshing websites, you can drive store to store. I was casually buying cards from a machine in my grocery store. It felt like I discovered a cheat code for the entire hobby. Now, even with vending machines and local groups, timing is still everything, and understanding release patterns can be the difference between success and disappointment. Tip number 5, decode the release wave pattern. Here's the final piece of the MSRP puzzle that most collectors completely miss: understanding product release waves. This isn't just about knowing when a set launches, it's about predicting the entire life cycle of availability and positioning yourself accordingly. Now, what I mean by this is every new Pokemon set follows a predictable pattern, and once you understand it, you can time your purchases like a Wall Street trader, except instead of stocks, you're trading Charizards. Wave 1 happens during launch week. This is when demand is at its absolute peak and products sell out faster than you can say special illustration rare. The restocks during this period are actually quite large, but so is the competition. You'll likely need to wait in lines if you're hunting for product in person. The key during Wave 1 is having your strategy locked and loaded before the set releases. Know which products you want, have your payment methods ready, and be prepared to act fast. This is where your Discord groups and alert services really shine. Wave 2 is where the magic happens for smart collectors. This occurs roughly 2 to 4 weeks after a set releases, when the initial hype has died down, but before the set becomes truly scarce. During this period, major retailers do smaller restocks that often go completely unnoticed. Most collectors have already bought what they wanted during Wave 1, or they've given up and moved on to the next shiny thing. Meanwhile, you're casually checking Target on a random Tuesday afternoon and finding ETBs on the shelf like they've just been waiting for you. I've had incredible success from finding product during Wave 2. While everyone else was complaining not being able to find products from a set, I was quietly building my collection at MSRP prices during these overlooked restocks. Wave 3 happens months later, usually when retailers are clearing out or remaining inventory to make room for newer sets. This is a hit or miss. Sometimes you'll find amazing deals, sometimes there's nothing left. But it's worth checking out, and especially at smaller retailers who might have forgotten that they had stock in the back. The pattern varies slightly by retailer and set popularity, but understanding this massive cycle gives you a massive advantage. Instead of fighting crowds during Wave 1, you can strategically wait for Wave 2, which is 2 to 4 weeks after a set releases, when competition is lower and availability is more predictable. The way I time my new sets now is always going for online pre-orders, and then on release day, I'll wait at like one major retailer for about 30 minutes. My go-to is Best Buy. Then 7 to 14 days later, that's when I'll be more consistent at checking my local Target and Walmart for those smaller overlooked restocks. This has worked extremely well for me ever since Destined Rivals has gotten released, and I've been able to find Destined Rivals, Mega Evolutions, Black Bolt, White Flare, all just by casually walking into Target. It took me about, I'd say, 8 months to fully understand my city's release pattern, but keep in mind that yours might be different. So there you have it, 5 massive tips that will transform you from a frustrated collector to finding products at MSRP. Now let's quickly recap. Join focused local Discord and Facebook groups to tap into community intelligence. You want to make sure these are about small enough but also active enough to make it worth your time. Master online release patterns and use alert services like PokeNotify to automate your hunting. Become a retail detective and know where to look and how to ask the right questions. Discover Pokemon vending machines in your area for MSRP access. And finally, understand your wave release pattern to time your purchases of when you should actually start checking stores in person. The difference between collectors who consistently find MSRP cards and those who don't isn't just luck, it's strategy. And these tips work because they're based on understanding how the market actually works, at least in my area. So I hope this gives you a basis about how to go about it within your city. And remember that collecting Pokemon cards should be fun, not financially stressful. By implementing these strategies, you'll spend less time hunting and more time enjoying your collection. And a huge thank you to today's sponsor, PokeNotify. This is the tool that I personally use to grab sealed product at MSRP online without wasting hours refreshing pages. You can try it free for 3 days down below in the description, and if you decide to stick with it, use the code PalettePicks25 for 25% off your first month. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to watch this video next.